Did you feel it? The pull, that gentle, undeniable tug, as though the universe itself is drawing you closer today, as if something powerful is just around the corner, waiting for you to acknowledge it. The energy feels thick, almost tangible, as if it carries the weight of change, quiet, yet profound. Today is not just another day on the calendar. May 4th, 2025 is a moment in time marked by a cosmic alignment so subtle that many might miss it, but not you. You're already moving with it, whether you're aware of it or not. The question is, as the tides rise around you, will you choose to flow with them, or will you fight against the current? This is an invitation not just from the stars, but from the rhythm of the universe itself. A pull that isn't about forcing you into a certain direction, but about guiding you gently towards something deeper within yourself. The cosmic forces are at play today, whispering that it's time to lean into the transformations that are already brewing, both seen and unseen. But the universe doesn't ask for compliance, it offers you the chance to choose. Will you embrace the shifts that are happening inside you, or will you resist the growth that's knocking at your door? This is the pivotal question today. The sky is painted with the hues of transformation, but not in a way that's loud or attention-grabbing. It's subtle, almost imperceptible to the untrained eye, but for those who are listening, the cosmic currents are undeniable. Today, the moon moves into the sign of Cancer, a shift that brings with it an emotional depth and an inner call to return to what matters most. Cancer is the sign of the mother, of the home, of emotional security. It's the energy that nurtures and heals, that protects and holds space for what needs to be cared for. And today, Cancer's influence invites you to turn inward, to check in with your emotional foundations. How sturdy are they? How strong is your sense of home, of belonging? What parts of you need comfort, and what parts need to be reminded that they are safe? Cancer energy doesn't rush, and it doesn't push. It invites you to slow down, to tune into your feelings, and to honor the rhythms that exist within your body and soul. This energy isn't about fast fixes or quick outcomes. It's about deeply rooted nourishment, slow, steady, and patient. It asks you to reflect on the foundations you've rebuilt and to ensure they are solid enough to support the person you are becoming. It's a gentle reminder that growth is not always about moving forward in leaps and bounds. Sometimes it's about checking in with where you are, where you've come from, and how you can heal what's been hurt or neglected. Under the Cancer moon, it's time to reconnect with your roots, literally and figuratively. The energy today invites you to reflect on your past, to revisit the parts of yourself that you may have left behind, and to listen to the subtle whispers of memory. There's wisdom in your history, in the experiences that have shaped you, in the family ties that bind you, and in the ancestral energy that still lives within your blood. Today is a moment to honor the emotional landscapes you've traversed and to heal any wounds that might still be tender. It's a reminder that the past doesn't define you, but it does inform you, and there's power in that. There's power in embracing all that you've been through and using it to build the emotional security you need to step into your future. As you move through today, take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling, really? Not just about your outer world, but about your inner world. Are your emotional foundations strong enough to support the growth that's trying to emerge within you? There's no shame in taking a pause, in reflecting, in recalibrating your energy. This is not a day for grandiose plans or action steps. It's a day for grounding, for reflection, for getting clear on where you stand emotionally. If there are cracks in your foundation, today offers you the opportunity to heal them. If there are areas where you've neglected yourself, today asks you to nurture those parts and restore them to wholeness. It's also a day to reconnect with the people who make you feel safe, who make you feel at home, and who remind you of your worth. Family, whether chosen or biological, is a cornerstone under the Cancer moon. And if you've been feeling disconnected or ungrounded, this energy asks you to reach out, to open up, to create bonds that restore your emotional balance. Cancer isn't about isolation, it's about connection. It's about building a sense of belonging that goes beyond the physical and touches the soul. Whether it's a conversation with a loved one, a quiet moment of reflection, or simply sitting in stillness with your own heart, today offers you the chance to nurture the emotional spaces that matter most. But even in this nurturing, there's an invitation to release. The past is not something to cling to, it's something to learn from. The emotional patterns that once served you may no longer be useful, and today asks you to gently release those old stories, those old fears, those old wounds. This is not a time to hold on to anything that has been draining your energy or keeping you stuck. Cancer energy is about nurturing, yes, but it's also about protecting what matters and releasing what doesn't. It's about honoring your emotional well-being enough to let go of what no longer serves your growth. Cancer's influence today asks you to remember that emotional security isn't about perfection. It's not about having everything in its right place or having all your feelings figured out. It's about creating a safe space within yourself to simply be, to feel without judgment, to heal without rushing, to grow without pressure. And as you stand under the Cancer moon, let this be a reminder. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to slow down and reassess. And you are allowed to prioritize your emotional health above all else. You don't need to have everything figured out today. Just take one step toward healing, one step toward grounding, and one step toward the emotional security that will carry you forward. But this Cancer moon isn't here to let you settle into complacency. It might invite you into moments of comfort, into quiet reflection, into emotional safety, but it's not here to let you stay there. The energy of the moon in Cancer during the waxing phase is one of expansion and growth. While Cancer naturally pulls you inward to nurture, to heal, to protect, the waxing moon pushes you outward toward evolution. It's a subtle but powerful call. The security that Cancer offers is not a permanent state. It's a springboard. It's meant to ground you, yes, but it's also meant to propel you toward the next step. This is not a time for stagnation. This is a time to evolve. You're being asked to reflect on where you've been holding on to old emotional patterns, old beliefs about who you are, or even old stories about where you belong. Cancer energy pulls you back to your roots, yes, but it also demands that you look at what those roots have grown into. Have they served you? Have they kept you stable? Or have they kept you small? Today, under this moon, you're invited to see where you were holding on, perhaps too tightly, to things that no longer serve your higher self. The pull for comfort is strong, but the pull for growth is stronger. If you've been avoiding change, if you've been clinging to old stories, this is the universe's gentle but firm way of asking, what are you holding on to, and why? And more importantly, what would happen if you let go? It's easy to stay in the familiar. It's easy to hold on to what feels safe, what feels known, even if it no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Cancer offers you emotional security, but it also asks you to be brave enough to face what lies beneath the surface, to look at the emotional debris that might be clogging your growth, to consider the parts of yourself you've left untended, the parts of you that might still be tied to past traumas or outdated beliefs about what is possible for you. Cancer's energy doesn't ask you to force change. It asks you to soften enough to make room for it, to create space within yourself so that the transformation can begin naturally. The old patterns you've been carrying are not bad or wrong. They've simply outlived their usefulness, and the energy today calls for you to lovingly let them go. As the waxing moon intensifies the energy, you're being asked to bring a higher level of awareness to your emotional landscape. The moon's pull on Cancer's watery depths brings heightened sensitivity to everything, your thoughts, your feelings, your intuitions. And with that sensitivity comes the opportunity for deep healing. The emotional currents that rise today may feel intense, but they're not here to overwhelm you. They are here to give you the chance to let go, to make peace with the parts of yourself that need healing. Emotions are powerful teachers, and today you're invited to sit with them fully, to feel them without resistance. There's no shame in feeling deeply today. In fact, the deeper you allow yourself to feel, the more profound the healing will be. The Cancer Moon's energy calls for cleansing. It calls for releasing what is no longer serving you. If tears need to flow, let them. If old memories surface, let them. If long-held fears arise, allow yourself to sit with them, not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Every emotion that rises to the surface is an invitation to let go of the energy that has been keeping you stuck. This is not the time to repress or ignore your feelings. This is the time to honor them, to let them pass through you like a wave, knowing that they are a part of your healing process, not a burden. Feeling deeply is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. It is a sign that you are ready to release, ready to heal, ready to step into something greater than you've ever allowed yourself to be. The moon's pull today is asking you to release, to cleanse, and to make space for a new chapter of personal growth. What has been weighing on your heart, on your spirit, that needs to be let go of? What old patterns, stories, or beliefs have you been holding on to that no longer align with who you are becoming? Now is the time to allow them to dissolve. You don't have to fight them or analyze them. You simply need to make the space for them to be released. This process is not about force. It's about allowing, it's about trusting that by simply being with what is, you can create the room necessary for what is meant to come next. This is the gift of the Cancer Moon. It doesn't demand action. It demands presence. Presence to feel, to sit with, and to release. You are being asked to trust that the emotional healing you experience today will have a ripple effect on the rest of your life. The shifts you make within yourself will impact how you interact with the world, how you relate to others, and how you show up for yourself. Healing isn't just about feeling better, it's about becoming more aligned with your truest self. It's about peeling back the layers that have kept you disconnected from your deepest desires, your truest needs, and your most authentic expression. And today, the moon invites you to do just that, to shed the layers, to face the feelings, and to make room for the new version of you that is already waiting to emerge. This is the energy of transformation, not through force, but through allowance. Cancer's energy asks you to step into this transformation with compassion, both for yourself and for others. There is no rushing through this process. There is no need to have everything figured out. What's required today is patience, understanding, and a willingness to embrace the ebb and flow of your emotions as they guide you through this next phase of your personal evolution. So let the emotional currents rise, let the feelings flow, let the healing take place. You don't need to know all the answers today. You don't need to solve everything at once. What you need is the courage to feel, to reflect, and to release. And in doing so, you will create the space for the transformation that's waiting for you just around the corner. And the moon is not alone today. As we move through May 4th, the cosmos continues to shift, and Venus in Gemini brings an energy of curiosity and playfulness that dances alongside the emotional pull of the Cancer Moon. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and connection, finds herself in the sign of Gemini, which adds a layer of lightness, intellectual curiosity, and a sense of adventure to the mix. It's a reminder that while emotional depth and healing are essential, it's equally important to embrace joy in your relationships, to laugh, to explore, and to open yourself to new ideas and experiences. Venus in Gemini doesn't ask for deep emotional commitment. Instead, it invites you to engage with the world in a more playful way, to connect on an intellectual level, to share ideas, and to allow the lighter side of life to spark joy. If the emotional currents of the Cancer moon have felt heavy, Venus in Gemini brings relief. It's a reminder that healing doesn't always need to be serious. Sometimes the most profound growth comes not from digging deep into our emotional wounds, but from laughing with a friend, having a conversation that sparks new perspectives, or doing something spontaneous that makes your heart feel light. Venus in Gemini offers you the opportunity to see the world through a fresh lens, to engage with others in a way that is open, curious, and fun. It's a reminder that joy is not just an accessory. It is an essential part of healing, an energy that lifts you and clears the emotional fog that may have been clouding your mind. However, while the Cancer moon and Venus in Gemini work together to stir our emotions, open our hearts and encourage joy, there is another, quieter cosmic event unfolding in the background, a shift that's not to be overlooked, even though it may not feel as immediately dramatic. Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, is entering its shadow period, preparing for its retrograde later this month. This shift is subtle but powerful. Mercury's shadow period is the time before the actual retrograde begins. And during this time, you might start noticing the first signs of its effects. You may find that communication feels a little off today. Words may get lost in translation, and misunderstandings could arise more easily than usual. You might feel like you're not being fully understood, or that your message isn't landing the way you intended. This is a sign to pay attention to the details, especially when it comes to conversations and the way you re-presenting your ideas. If technology is glitching more than usual, or if plans start to feel more complicated, it's okay. This is part of the Mercury shadow period. It's not something to panic about, but rather an invitation to slow down, to revisit things you may have overlooked, and to approach your communication with more patience. Mercury's shadow period is about reflection, about revisiting the past, and reconsidering things that might have been rushed or misunderstood. This is not the time to push ahead with new projects or major decisions that rely heavily on clear communication or technical precision. Instead, use this time to review, to check the details, and to make adjustments where necessary. The Mercury retrograde period is known for bringing up things from the past that need closure. And its shadow period is the precursor to this energy, gently nudging you to pay attention to what has been left unfinished or unresolved. As Mercury enters its shadow, it's the perfect time to go over your plans and communications with a fine-toothed comb. If there is anything that felt incomplete or unclear in your life, whether it's a conversation you never had, a project that's been put on the back burner, or a decision that needs more clarity, now is the time to start revisiting it. You might find that things you thought were settled aren't as clear as you thought. This is a time to make sure everything is in order before the full retrograde energy arrives, as it can bring delays, miscommunications, and technological hiccups that force you to go back and reassess. But don't see these moments as setbacks. Mercury's retrograde energy is actually an opportunity to rework, to refine, and to clarify. The universe is offering you a chance to revisit things that may have been overlooked or rushed, so that when the retrograde fully kicks in, you'll be in a better place to navigate the changes and adjustments it brings. And while this might feel like a bit of a slowdown, it's important to remember that slowing down is not a setback. It's a chance to gain clarity, to tie up loose ends, and to make sure that everything is moving forward with intention. This is also a great time for introspection. Mercury is the planet of the mind, the messenger of the gods, guiding us through the realms of thought and communication. Its shadow period invites you to reflect on how you're thinking, on what you're communicating to yourself and others, and on what needs to be adjusted in your own thought patterns. It's a time to listen to your inner dialogue, to be aware of any negative thought loops or unhelpful beliefs that may be subtly influencing your decisions. As you move through this time, take the opportunity to reset your mental and emotional framework so that when Mercury retrograde fully arrives, you'll be better equipped to handle the challenges and shifts it brings. The energy of May 4th, 2025 is one of balance between the playful, light energy of Venus in Gemini and the more introspective, reflective pull of Mercury's shadow. This combination invites you to find the sweet spot between fun and serious work, between connection and reflection. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can have both. Embrace the joy and curiosity that Venus in Gemini brings, but also honor the need to slow down, to listen more closely, and to review the details that matter. There's power in this balance, the power to move through the world with open-hearted curiosity, while also staying grounded and mindful of the paths you've yet to complete. The subtle shifts you are feeling today are part of something much larger than what meets the eye. The energy in the air is both inviting and challenging, as the Cancer moon and Venus in Gemini are pushing and pulling you in different directions. One energy is calling you to find your emotional truth, urging you to get quiet and connect with the depths of your inner world. The other is pulling you towards something lighter, more exploratory, encouraging you to break free from the confines of what's comfortable and familiar, to think beyond what you already know, and to open yourself to new ideas, experiences, and connections. This cosmic tension between Cancer's emotional depth and Gemini's intellectual freedom is the theme of the day. It's easy to feel torn between these energies. Cancer asks you to nurture your emotions, to seek comfort, to return to what feels safe and familiar. It's a pull towards home, family, and emotional security. But Gemini, with its playful, curious nature, beckons you out of that comfort zone. It urges you to explore, to question, to think outside the box. Gemini's influence makes you want to expand your mind, meet new people, try new things. It's about connecting with others, seeking knowledge, and discovering new ways of thinking. Today, these energies are in a dynamic dance, and it's up to you to find balance between them. The challenge of today is finding harmony between nurturing your emotional needs and allowing yourself the freedom to explore and grow. The Cancer moon wants you to honor your feelings, to check in with your emotional health, and to ensure that your heart feels cared for. But Venus in Gemini offers a different kind of nourishment, one that feeds your curiosity, your need for connection, and your desire for intellectual stimulation. Both are valid, both are necessary, but the question is, how do you honor both energies without feeling torn or overwhelmed? It's about balance. The universe is asking you to listen to both your heart and your mind. Cancer's energy wants to hold you, protect you, and provide you with emotional stability. But Gemini wants you to break free from old patterns, to push the boundaries of what you've known, and to explore new ideas and ways of being. This cosmic pull is not something to fight against. It's something to dance with. Today, you're being invited to honor the duality of your own nature, the part of you that craves security and the part of you that longs for adventure. The key is to move between these energies with grace, allowing each to inform the other. So, what does all of this mean for you on a practical level? How do you navigate this cosmic pull between security and change, between emotional depth and intellectual freedom? The answer is simple. Slow down, take a deep breath and pause. In the rush of everyday life, it is easy to get caught up in the momentum of what is going on around you. But today, the universe is asking you to slow down long enough to check in with yourself. This is not a time for making rash decisions or pushing forward at full speed. It's a time for reflection, for self-awareness, and for being mindful of where you're putting your energy. Start by reflecting on the areas of your life where you need emotional nourishment. What parts of yourself need attention? What emotional needs have you been neglecting in the pursuit of other goals? Cancer. Energy is asking you to check in with these areas and make sure that your emotional foundation is strong. Are you giving yourself the care and comfort you need? Are you surrounding yourself with the people and environments that make you feel secure and supported? If not, this is the moment to prioritize those emotional needs. Make space for them today. Whether that's through spending time with loved ones, seeking out a peaceful environment, or simply giving yourself the time and space to reflect and process your emotions. At the same time, allow yourself the freedom to explore. While Cancer invites you to connect with your emotional world, Gemini beckons you to look outward and expand your horizons. What new ideas are you curious about? What conversations would spark your creativity? What new experiences could open your mind and offer you a fresh perspective? It's important to honor your intellectual curiosity today, to follow the threads of inspiration that pull you in new directions. Let your curiosity guide you, but don't let it distract you from the deeper emotional work that may need your attention. Balance these energies by allowing your intellectual exploration to inform and nourish your emotional growth, and vice versa. Allowing yourself to feel deeply today doesn't mean getting stuck in your emotions. Cancer's energy can sometimes bring up old feelings, memories, or patterns that may feel overwhelming. But the Moon's influence today invites you to feel those emotions fully without getting lost in them. Recognize that emotions are meant to flow, not to stay trapped inside. Allow the feelings to move through you without holding onto them too tightly. And at the same time, allow your curiosity to guide you into new territories, to discover new ways of thinking and being that can support your growth. The energy of the day is about finding a flow between your heart and your mind, a rhythm that honors both your need for emotional depth and your need for mental expansion. The challenge, then, is to not get lost in either direction. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that one energy is more important than the other, that emotional depth is more valuable than intellectual freedom, or vice versa. But today, the universe is asking you to find a way to integrate both energies. It's about being grounded in your emotional truth, while also embracing the new possibilities that are available to you. It's about trusting that both your heart and your mind are valuable tools for your growth, and that you don't have to choose between them. Take a step back and ask yourself, what parts of your life need nurturing today, and what parts need the freedom to grow? What areas of your life have you been neglecting emotionally, and where have you been limiting your intellectual exploration? The answers to these questions will help guide you toward finding balance between these two energies. And remember, there's no right or wrong answer. This is about honoring your own unique needs and desires. Today is about listening to both your heart and your mind and giving both the space to grow. May 4th, 2025 holds the kind of energy that calls for reflection, emotional depth, and intellectual curiosity, a day that invites you to shed the old and embrace the new. The moon in Cancer pulls you into the depths of your emotional world, urging you to heal what has been lying dormant, hidden beneath the surface. It's a moment to tend to the parts of yourself that have longed for care, for understanding, for attention. These parts might not be easy to access, and they may stir up old emotions, but today's cosmic energy offers the perfect opportunity to sit with them, to hold them with tenderness, and to allow the healing process to unfold. Cancer doesn't rush the process of emotional growth. It asks you to be patient with yourself, to offer the care and nurturing that you've sometimes withheld from your own heart. Venus in Gemini offers a beautiful contrast to this deep emotional pull. While Cancer pulls you inward, Venus in Gemini beckons you to step out into the world, to engage with it playfully and with curiosity. Gemini's energy is intellectual and vibrant, encouraging you to look at the world through fresh eyes. It invites you to spark joy in your connections with others, to explore new ideas, and to communicate freely. Venus in Gemini isn't about deep emotional commitments. It's about exploring the beauty of connection, the pleasure of new experiences, and the excitement that comes with discovering something or someone new. It's an energy that encourages lightness, that reminds you that life doesn't always have to be serious to be meaningful. Sometimes, the most profound healing comes through laughter, through conversation, and through the excitement of new possibilities. But while Venus invites you to be playful and curious, Mercury's shadow period is reminding you that there's a time for exploration and a time for reflection. As Mercury begins to move into its retrograde shadow, the universe calls for you to reassess, to revisit things that may have been left unfinished or unresolved. Mercury's shadow period isn't Tao about rushing ahead. It is about slowing down and taking a closer look at the details you may have missed before. You may find that communication feels a little off today. Misunderstandings may arise, plans might need to be adjusted, or technology could be glitching more than usual. But these aren't signs to stop. They are reminders to take your time, to reflect, and to make sure that everything is in order before moving forward. This is a time for steady, intentional progress, not for rushing ahead without considering the consequences. And so today is about more than just navigating the cosmic weather. It's about understanding the energies at play and using them to guide you toward a more aligned and authentic version of yourself. The universe has already placed the right opportunities in your path. Whether you can see them clearly or not, they are there, waiting for you to take the next step. Trust that the unfolding process is already in motion, even if the final picture is not yet clear. The universe is inviting you to flow with the changes, to trust the shifts, and to embrace the growth that is occurring beneath the surface. Every shift, every adjustment, every recalibration is helping you become more aligned with your highest self. And most of all, trust yourself. Today's energies are here to remind you that you have everything you need within you. The world may be shifting, changing, and evolving around you, but the foundation you build today will carry you through whatever comes next. Your inner wisdom, your emotional strength, and your ability to adapt are the solid ground you can stand on. It's easy to feel swept up in the cosmic tides, to be overwhelmed by the pull of change, but remember, you are always in control of your own direction. Trust your inner compass. Trust the guidance that comes from within, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. As you move through this day, give yourself permission to feel deeply. Don't shy away from the emotions that rise up, even if they're uncomfortable or difficult. Allow yourself to sit with the feelings, to honor them, and to let them flow through you. Cancer's energy invites you to nurture your emotional body, to give space to the feelings that need attention, but also allow yourself the freedom to explore, to connect, and to discover. Venus in Gemini encourages you to see the world through the lens of curiosity, to be open to new experiences, and to engage with the people and ideas that spark your joy. The balance between these energies, the emotional depth of Cancer and the playful curiosity of Gemini, is where the magic lies. You don't have to choose one over the other. Today, you are being called to honor both. Let your heart lead, but let your mind stay open. Embrace the fullness of your emotional experience, but also embrace the freedom that comes with exploring new ideas and perspectives. The universe is offering you a rare moment of balance today, a chance to integrate your emotional needs with your intellectual curiosity, your need for security with your desire for change. This balance is the key to stepping into a new chapter of growth, of possibility, and of self-discovery. So, take this moment to pause, to reflect, and to allow yourself to step fully into the energy of today. Embrace the emotional healing that Cancer offers, but also welcome the joy and lightness that Venus in Gemini brings. Trust the guidance that Mercury's shadow period offers you as it encourages you to slow down and reassess. The energies today are designed to help you step into alignment with your true self. Use them as a guide and trust that the path you are walking is exactly the one you are meant to be on.